Make sure, is it going for sure?
Hold on, I'll tell you.
All right, we're going to call the DDA meeting, special meeting for April 15th to order at 6:01 p.m. Can we get a roll call, please?
Ashley Glasser, present.
Steve Schneider, present.
Holly Miller, present.
Andy Rose, present.
It's not working.
All right, let's
It says waiting for Almont DDA.
do it again. Take two.
Our logo looks really pretty. It says upcoming on the app. Oh,
Well, sometimes it takes a second.
Did it go?
no, there's still no picture. Oh, now it is.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's
All right.
recording. Okay.
Cool.
All right, let's try that again. Is that working?
Yep.
All right, let's try this again. We are going to call the special meeting for the Almont Downtown Development Authority to order at 6:02 p.m. on April 15th, 2024. Can we get a call to order?
Ashley Glasser, present.
Steve Schneider, present.
Holly Miller, present.
Andy Rose, present. Additions or deletions to the agenda, said items 4, 5, and 6, correct?
We're gonna add, under finance 4, motion to authorize the closing of the contract for 117 School Street. 5 under finance, motion to approve the funds for 117 School Street, and 6 under finance, authorization of purchase person to sign for the purchase of 117 School Street. And we are going to remove or delete, number 1 under finance, the School Street property purchase resolution.
Okay. All right, with that being said, any further comments on that? We need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Support, any further? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, let's move forward. All right, first thing we gotta do so we can get this ball rolling is we need to approve the March 27th meeting minutes that are included.
Subject to any corrections from Holly, I move to approve the March 27, 2024.
I don't have any
meeting minutes.
corrections since I wasn't here,
Oh, well,
so I can't correct.
I didn't see any problem, so I move to approve.
Kind of flattered.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion, we have a secondary. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, March 27th is approved. Now we need a motion to approve the April 5th special meeting minutes that we had.
I wasn't there.
You're not in that one.
Couldn't make that one.
You so approve.
Oh,
I'll make the motion to approve the
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nay? Unanimous, okay. All right, on to new business for the special meeting. We have removed number 1. We're going to go straight to number 2. 117 School Street property purchase wire transfer. We need a motion to approve the wire transfer for $100,549.28 to Bell Title Agency of Macomb Shelby for the purchase of said property.
I have to abstain from everything. Please note.
oh, because you're brokering.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? I'm just going to put on one thing. Unfortunately, things do tend to change in closings. Do we want to make either an addition not to exceed or a secondary, make a motion on that and make another motion of some sort of leeway amount, 500 to 1,000 for any changes?
Not to exceed,
Yeah.
I think would be preferable.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd add that to my motion.
All right. Not to exceed, how much then over that?
Correct.
How much over?
Oh, no, it's just, I'm sorry.
Every once in a while, when I do a closing, unfortunately, they're like, oh, they missed this, it's another $180, just in case we have to wire over some miscellaneous amount.
Add 1,500,
Okay.
just in case. I don't see it likely, but Add 1,500 to the $100,549.28. Add 1,500.
Not to exceed.
So, make it 115, 100, yes. Duh.
Not to exceed 102.
Fine.
I would just do comma, not to exceed
Yeah.
102,000.
Approved wire, 100,549.28, but not to exceed 102. Even for incidentals. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You abstain?
Abstain.
All right, that passes. Budget amendment, there is a motion to approve the quarter four budget amendment with the addition of the $85,000 capital outlay for the purchase of school property. It is listed in here. If we do approve this budget amendment, it does go to village council tomorrow for their ratification of it. Our DDA attorney said we don't necessarily have to do that. Boards can, be under over budget. We are not out of the finances. This is money that we have to spend, but it's up to the board's discretion in which direction they want to go with the budget amendment.
And for the record, I'm indicating that it would be wise to do that. Not only has that been the precedent, what we've always done, number one. Number two, there's been the coordination between DDA board and council and the village treasurer with regard to these items. And number three, the expertise of our treasurer with regard to these. If she's recommending it, her expertise in this area, I would be wise to follow it. And Doug Toom is not an accountant. He's just a lawyer.
So we are, doing a budget amendment, and it was before the council for ratification.
We haven't approved it, but
Right.
it's more of a formality.
Well,
We have the fund.
Kim said that it has to go before council for review, not approval, before she'll wire the funds. So I'm not saying that they will or won't approve it, I'm just saying that the word was review, not ratify or approve, so.
Past experiences, it actually is an approval. It's not, we don't vote to ratify it, meaning, to ratify it would mean that the DDA board's decision with regard to this would be a formal approval of it, and approval has to be by council. So it's not ratification. I don't want to make that motion because of the fact that it's coming before council. I'm willing to vote on it, but I would definitely recommend that we do that. I mean, there's no harm in doing it, number one, and number two, I do not see any reason for apprehension that it will not be approved by council. There's no indication that there's going to be a problem.
So to clarify, it is not a review. It will be an approval.
Correct. That has been the ongoing practice for the last 25 years.
Irregardless, the attorney would say we move forward. We don't. What we're doing tonight will take care of that. So anybody want to make that motion?
I have to abstain, so. I'm out.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve the fourth quarter budget amendment with the addition of $85,000 to capital outlay for the purchase of 117 School Street.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All in favor? All right, so move forward on We need a motion to approve the closing of the contract for one.
I'm sorry, what state? That one was just Holly.
Just me. Steve just didn't want to make the motion, he said.
Okay.
Right, I did vote.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, so going, are we good to go? Moving on? All right, motion to authorize the closing of the contract for 117 School Street. Motion to approve the authorization of the contract for the purchase of the property that is located in there.
Yep, the entirety of the contract.
One thing that you looked into, so in there you'll see that we are paying for property taxes. We're basically reimbursing Chicky for what she's already paid. We are tax exempt. Will we then apply for a credit back from the village, township, county on that?
That's a good question. Yeah, you're only paying for taxes.
So the way,
No, well, yeah. I
the
mean,
way it
you-
works when we have a closing, just so you're aware, is,
Oh.
right? So.
Well, I've only
taxes-
done probably 20,000 of them.
You know, okay.
Yeah, so,
Okay. I don't have to explain it. That's fine.
well, yeah, I mean, Chicky is entitled to be reimbursed
Right.
for taxes that she's already paid for when she no longer owns the property, and she will no longer own the property as of date of closing or day after closing. So she's entitled to be reimbursed that, and I don't know that that's payment of taxes by the DDA board. It's just to be able to close.
Correct, but we're paying taxes or future pay. right?
No, going forward,
Yeah,
Going
right.
forward, we're
yeah.
not, but
Right.
isn't it for current tax year?
it is for current, yeah.
Correct. So that means if we would have owned the property for the whole tax year, we wouldn't have paid the taxes regardless. Meaning we should have a credit back for the remainder of the year. Is that not correct? And that's something we can look at later.
Right,
I just
right,
want-
yeah.
Want that on
Mhm.
the conversation. piece.
Oh,
As we're
no, I
looking at the
agree.
contract.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, Chicky's entitled to
Well,
reimbursement.
she is. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna talk her.
Yeah.
Same cost.
I think you're correct. It should be addressed. Yeah, makes sense.
All right, so just as you're looking through the contract and the dollar amounts, that was what made up the $100,549. Because we offered $101,000 deposit, the difference between the 99 and that is made up partially of that closing fees.
Okay.
Is that the, so we're talking about the, on this page, the 974.18 and the 83.99?
Well, 131,
Oh, yeah.
974, 83.99. Yeah.
School Street's a private road?
Oh, I don't think so. It's not-
Well, the private road acknowledgement. I understand about the part about the private road acknowledgement not maintained by the road commission. Yeah, but it says the street or road abutting the I'm guessing, I don't know if you know, Holly, when you head west on School Street to where it ends,
Mhm.
it then goes into a kind of a grassy knoll
Mhm.
area where you see some tracks. Maybe that's what it's referring to. But otherwise, I'm looking and go, huh? What? So, is there a title commitment on this?
Yeah.
Oh, and that was the title. Oh,
Yeah, this is the whole closing package here.
So
Okay.
this is heading south line of the School Street. I'm thinking that is so right now, you get back to that other person's property from there. the
And
other
that's what I
side.
wonder if that's not the alley that it's
Correct.
speaking of, kind of, the
Hmm.
Howard's parks cars in.
Okay.
Correct.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So there's the, well, I guess you'd call it the dirt lot, it's more like one right now. Kind of the drive in back in there. It's technically runs along the fence line, because this is staying, south of the, school line street, which would be going into that property.
Okay. Well, we all know to be able to close, you have to comply with the title commitment.
I will get clarification on that though.
Okay, thank you.
So,
I had a question about is the property transfer affidavit, we don't get any exceptions.
Not that I'm aware of. They are very aware that we are a municipality,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I just didn't know, because we don't pay like the property taxes, correct?
Right.
So we, but it still gives.
You still have to pay state and county transfer tax.
To change the taxes estimate. It still has to be assessed, like our,
Yeah, they will still assess it, yeah.
Okay.
property transfer affidavit will go to the township assessor, Tom Valentine, and
Yeah.
I don't, if they somehow make a misstep with regard to it, I work with Valentine frequently. We can get it fixed.
I would say they have, if we have transferred the property to somebody else, that would. be
Yeah.
over.
No, I was just wondering if we got any exceptions. So if I'm correct, if we had an exception, then they wouldn't be able to adjust the property taxes on the property, if there was an exception, correct? Isn't that how it works? If you have an exception, you can't adjust the property taxes, but if you don't have an exception, then the assessor has the ability to change the property taxes on that piece of property.
Yeah, it's called uncapping.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for a new, an entity that's not a governmental agency.
I'm not
Right.
saying that, I mean, hopefully we have this property, we won't have any.
One would hope, yeah. That's the whole point. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be pretty hard for the assessor to miss how the property transfer affidavit is set forth.
I will make a motion to approve the authorization of the contract for the school street property.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstaining.
Thank you. All right, now, next one, motion to approve funds for the school, 117 School Street property. It has in there amount of the 105.49.28, and I would also include the not to exceed, just in case, if you would like that motion.
Right. Yeah, I'll make that motion, and so it'll be approving that with the some not to exceed the same amount as we had before.
Yeah, so
Oh,
the
essentially-
approval is gonna be to, approve the necessary funds to 100,549.28, but not to exceed 102,000.
Right.
There you go. That's what you did before.
Oh, I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Holly is stated. The next one, now this one, Holly, you're gonna have to go on, because I can't put myself on sign. But that's just as a formality.
Right.
So the final one, number 6, authorization for person assigned to purchases. In our bylaws, it does say that I can sign all legal documents and contract. This is just more of a dot the i's and cross the t's.
It's naming you.
Huh?
It's naming you by name.
Yes, naming me by name. So, motion to approve Chair Rosé to sign for the purchase of the property at 117 School Street pursuant to our bylaws.
I'll make that motion.
I will second it.
All in favor? Or I'm sorry, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I have to abstain, so it passes. All right, going on to any discussion, any board discussion, there's no public here, so anybody else to talk about?
So it's still called for public comment.
Oh, all right, public comment? Public,
Thank you.
all right. You want to be public?
No.
All right, now, any kind of board discussion or conversation?
I do. This is more maybe, can you talk to DPW and ask were they pulled the trees out? Are they done?
There are-
Okay, that's what I keep meaning to ask and I always forget. Okay, glad they're not done. That's all I need to know.
Where?
Perfect.
Where?
Where they pulled out those 3 trees on West St. Clair on the other side of Rustic Bluebird there, between Rustic Bluebird and the road.
Oh,
They're not done because, there's like roots and stuff. It don't look the nicest. So as long as they're not done, that's great.
okay.
I'm good with that.
Mhm.
That's all I have right now.
Anything else for the special meeting?
I don't know if DDA has any projections, ideas, what could be done to help Chicky. And and she's struggling anyway. And I didn't contest that issue at council because I knew that was the only way it was going to get through. Oh, be nice if I could throw her an olive branch or something. But I'm thinking it probably would have to be out back. It's just troubling. There was no intent, obviously, to cause damage to her business with doing this.
Excluding her from the commons area?
You to exclude it from comments, right, yeah. And in all candor, even it's disturbing. I don't see potential for modification as to modifying the common area with council, just politically, because there's been so much stink about it. Like we're just going to want to back off. I think I'm just thinking out loud, venting. But it's bothersome. I certainly didn't want to cause any harm to her. I mean, she's been a good citizen or a good business person. She's had all these events. There's never been a problem, and they're all charitable events. And I've not been a single police report problem, nothing. And so she's actually been helpful to the community. Sounds like she needs a lawyer.
Well, I would have to agree with you, Steve. I mean, unfortunately, without merit, making that the decision to exclude her is discriminatory. I mean, we have proof that there have been no major police issues in over a decade. We have proof that there's been no OEO violations. We have proof that she's in good standing with the Liquor Control Commission. We have proof that she just moved up to only 1 or 2 inspections a year from the health department instead of 1 to 2 every quarter. We have proof from the fire department over a decade that those comments that Lisa, her neighbor, made never happened. There was never any fire calls to that business. Never occurred, right?
There was once, like, I don't know, a little burning.
We have all the runs.
Yeah.
There are no runs. It never happened. For the fire chief, it never happened.
Oh, correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not.
So,
Right.
I mean,
That whole issue came before council, 15 years ago, whatever it was. And she was complaining about it, but they just happen to be business neighbors. So that's not a reason to deny her. I heard somebody say, oh, what if she did start a lawsuit and then that came before council and council said, do we really want to get involved in litigation? And that could possibly be sufficient basis for council to look at that issue again.
That would be up to council. I feel like our board is
Yeah,
doing what we can with the, I mean, we pretty much have our hands tied here. We can only do so much. The fact that we are proposing doing special events on Sundays for her, doing in this parking lot, something to do the parking lot for her, but hopefully down the line, that's gonna give her space for maybe the council to modify and have that area, common area back there where people can sit. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we are doing what we can with the limitations that we do have. Unfortunately, we are not, we can't, council's the one who's gonna, has the ultimate say in what the social district. But we're doing what we can for each and every business owner down there, fighting for them to, get, have these opportunities, so.
for once we agree. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right on. That's true.
I mean, if you look at the efforts we're doing, I mean, when we presented the meeting, I think, on record, Tim, maybe many said that's the best presentation they ever saw, so it's not, wasn't lacking on our part, right? I mean, here we are spending $100,000 for that side of the street. Will it benefit her? Correct, it'll benefit that whole side of the street. But, I mean, we're putting our money where our mouth is, trying to help out, not just one business, as we're accused many different places, but the whole downtown. And that'll be a huge benefit for that side. Depends on how fast we can move, but Angel's already talked to a few people about getting some money back on the demo for it. That'll save us money there. So, I mean, we're gonna move swiftly if we can afford it. So, if that's what it takes, for them not to cry about a couple people smoking cigarettes out front, so be it. Matter of fact, I think it was at that last meeting, Tim told me, why don't you spend some money and make it happen? We're making it happen, so.
Yes, I do recall that commentary, and yes, absolutely. And that enhances the position as far as Chickies is concerned. And then you gotta love the over-regulation. Okay, you can't even smoke outside. What the hell? Seriously? And I'm not a cigarette smoker, right? It's like overdoing it. Let's regulate the out of this. Seriously? And that suggestion that was made about that comes from a person who normally doesn't like great overregulation. Like, what? Jeez. Yeah, governing so much fun. Yeah. Well, this is some thoughts. So, yeah, venting a little bit and just conceptualizing this. Yeah, maybe something good could happen from all of this. Mm-hmm.
But it's not from a lack of effort on our part.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Just dealing with a tough issue and, dealing with the no crowd out there yelling.
We'll get her to go carry outside. That'll be her new cross the Diane on the west side of the street. So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
okay.
thanks for your comments, and you're not wrong. So, you're
Thank you.
Anything else from everybody? Nothing? Or should we call this an end or what? Are we done?
You think?
Yeah. All right. We're going to call the meeting adjourned at 6:31 p.m. Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Want me to turn this off? Yes. What do I press and hold the power button?
It's supposed to change color.
It all turns off.
Yeah, I just.